The community of Deelpan in the northwest, not as badly hit as KwaZulu-Natal, but still extensive damage there. Our senior reporter Aviwe Mtila joins us from Deelpan. Aviwe, thank you very much for speaking to us this evening. We know that 345 people, the bulk of them, have died in KwaZulu-Natal. But have there been any deaths as a result of the flooding in Deelpan in the northwest?
Not of human life, Sally, but there's been plenty of the animals and just the stock itself. Hence, the Department of Agriculture is one of the stakeholders that have been roped in these aids to assist the community of Deelpan. But the damage is quite extensive. The water is still flooding in many of the houses here, forming a pool. The community members of the villages aren't able to go in their houses. They have to, in fact, go on top of benches and desks if they need something inside their houses. Hence, many of them are still housed in the two community halls, the majority being the female. But we do understand today there's been a lot of humanitarian aid coming in from the non-profit organizations, non-governmental organizations, as well as some of the government departments themselves. There have been bikers even coming in around Mahikeng in support of Deelpan as those humanitarian aids continue. They're receiving basically most items that you'd need in home, basically from your blankets to groceries themselves, even the boots, the gum boots that are needed for the flooding. Those are the conversations that we've been having on the ground with the mayor here, Khumalo Molefe. Let's take a listen to that.
Deelpan is severely affected because it's the lowest lying area, so all the water flows from all other pens and then overflows into Deelpan. Unfortunately for Deelpan, the water is not going anywhere, it's stagnant, and as a result you've got no access to Deelpan unless you are driving a 4x4, so you've got to move dead animals, pit toilets are full, you're likely to have waterborne diseases. But we have intervened, we have called all government departments from agriculture with vets, environment, basically public works, every department is stationed there, including the military, and we want to say thank you very much to President Cyril Ramaphosa for responding very swiftly.
And you've also got an update, Aviwe, and we spoke to you yesterday. We know that I think some 300 homes were affected, and this is an area that is often hit because it's so low-lying, and it's worrying because climate change means it might just get hit more and more extensively in the future. You've got some updates on plans in place perhaps to prevent this happening again?
There are those fears, Sally, and those conversations even taking place on the ground now around the flooding that may continue and what happens going forward. Of course, the mayor as well as the Khosi, the community members themselves, are looking at what to do in the long term. We do understand while many of them are currently living in these community halls, there are long-term plans to move them in high-lying areas where they can't be hit by these floods. Of course, there will be some resistance from some community members who have built their livelihoods around Deelpan. Of course, not the area, only area affected by the floods. So those conversations are happening just around the district himself and what to do next. In fact, one of the conversations I caught up with once more with the mayor, Khumalo Molefe. Let's take a listen.
We have started a steady consultation between ourselves, the traditional leadership and the people. There are people who are severely affected. They must be moved. There is no any other way. The people will have to move. But that requires a steady hand, a level-headedness that we need there. It requires leadership, and it's leadership we are providing. Khosi has provided an alternative land. The Department of Environment is already conducting an environmental impact assessment because we don't want to relocate people to a land where they are going to experience the same problem. So that long-term process, the discussions have started.
All right, thank you so much for that update from Deelpan. That's our senior reporter there, Aviwe Mtila.